Okay guys, we're going to go ahead and move into inequalities. Just some quick reminders. Equations only have one solution, so you're going to see that typical equal sign, and it's going to go ahead and be a variable equals a certain number, and that is the only number that can be plugged into that equation or works for that equation. Inequalities have multiple solutions, so you're gonna quickly see that there can be different numbers for an inequality that satisfies that inequality. When it comes to your inequality sign, just a reminder, this is the less than sign, this is the greater than sign, this is a less than or equal to, and this is the greater than or equal to. If you need to pause this, go ahead and pause it so that you can write this down. Um, if we were to use 2 is greater than 1, some of you guys use that the open end or the bigger end faces the bigger number, and the smaller end or the closed end faces the smaller number to help you remember how to actually set up the inequalities. So we're going to go through some examples. I'm actually on page S166, so you can go ahead and go to S166. I'm just solving them on here because I have a little bit more space, but go ahead and follow along on S166. So letter A is actually, obviously it's an equation because of the equal sign is there. So let's go ahead and solve that. This is y plus 6 equals 16. So we're going to isolate the variable by doing minus 6, minus 6. We did the opposite or inverse operation of addition of 6, and we get y equals 10. So this states that the only number or the only solution for this equation is 10. There's no other solution. Any other number is not a solution, okay? But let's move down here to the inequalities. You're going to solve the same way for now. You're going to do isolate, still go ahead and isolate that variable. Just because it's an inequality sign, don't do any steps differently for now. You're going to isolate that variable, and you're going to go ahead and do the same thing on this side of the inequality sign. And we're going to end up with y is greater than 10. And what this is saying is that y is greater than 10. So y can be any number greater than 10. It does not include 10, but it can be any number greater than 10. So in this instance, this can be y can be 11, can be 12, can be 13, can be 50, can be 70, can be anything greater than 10. So there are multiple solutions to this inequality. Now let's go ahead and go to this one, letter C. So we're going to go ahead and solve it the same way, where you're using inverse operation to isolate your variable on one side of the inequality sign, and you get y is greater than or equal to 10. Now, the only difference between B and C is that this is saying y is greater than or equal to. So this does include 10. It does include every number that is greater than 10. So it can be any number, and so on and so on. You'll have multiple answers. So as you can see, is solving inequalities, you're doing the same thing as you did for equations. Go ahead and isolate that variable on one side of the on one side of the inequality sign, and make sure you're understanding what it's actually saying. If you don't see that line underneath the greater than sign, then it's not saying that you're including 10. It's saying that you're including every number above it. If you see that line, you're including 10. Okay? Go ahead and work out A through F. You can work this out with your partner, or you can work it out alone, and then work out on the next page. This is page S167. Work out A through F as well. Okay? I'm going to put up another video for S168 in a second, but go ahead and work out the next 2 pages on your own.